Let's take a moment to see what happens when you first go in. You have a link that takes you to an invitation to Finding Balance, which includes all the courses you're going to need, your life skills, your Finding Peace, Conquer Your Anger, Parenting, everything will be in that one group of courses. And of course, when you get to this portion, it's going to say, I have an account or I don't have an account. If you don't have an account, you have the ability to click that, put in your first and last name, an email, and a password of your choosing. Now, I already have it, and then you can click sign up down here. Let's say we're going to go Elmo the Tickle. Correct? And I can enter an email, and I can enter a password there and click sign up. Now, I already have an account. So I'm going to click back over here and say I have an account. Here's the email that I use for training. I sign into it. You get the same thing whether you sign up, you register an account, or whether you're signing into an old account. This is taking a little bit longer than I want it to, but hey, I don't know what your phone does or what your computer does. I have a lot of things going on right now on my internet, so it's taking a minute. And then it says, okay, Phil, do you want to register for this? Of course I want to register for this. And that's why I'm here. You're registered. Would you like to get started? I want to get started. The first thing you're going to see here as you get into it is that I'm the teacher, right? And there's a path. And underneath this path, there are certain courses. The first one that you want to get into is over here, Finding Peace. So you're going to start Finding Peace, and there it goes in. You are right inside of Finding Peace, the first course that you're going to take. This one is all online. There's no Zooms. Look at that. Now, your phone may look a little bit different. I'm doing this on my laptop. The same buttons will be there. It's going to say resume. Well, apparently, I've been in here. It's going to take me right back to controlling emails and notifications. And this little lesson right here tells you how to subscribe to the email digest. You sign into your account, you click the bell icon. You can't see that right here because you're inside of a course. And then up there it's going to say check your digest settings. How do you want it? Look at this little course here. We're actually going to do this. All right, when you go down here and complete this step and let it jump back, and click next. Now, if you click next and you are in the course, it's going to take you right down to the next place in the course. And again, I've already been in this course, so it's taking me through and saying, what do you want to do some new things here? You want to mark it? I've marked it. What impacts me the most? And I'm going through this kind of quickly. This is not how I want you to go through it. I want you to sit and read it and take your time, but I just want you to see how it works. So you hit next, and it's going to talk to me about grace. And there is something I want you to see. Every time you see a little video like this, I need you to play through that entire video and listen to it. Watch what happens here when I click it. It's going to play this video, and here I am, Phil, doing some training with you. Here I am again, the Think Director, Phil, and we're breaking down the full version of the Serenity Verb. Now you can pause that, but what I really need to make sure you do is you go through that whole lesson. There's some flashcards down here on each of those. Click that flash. God give us the grace to accept with serenity the things we can't change. That's the principal text out of the full Serenity Prayer. Now, what does that mean? Grace is a free gift that includes forgiveness and acceptance. Serenity is peace. So when it talks about that, it's talking about being forgiven from your past life, starting where you are today, and accepting your future. And serenity is doing that peacefully. So what's the psychological or philosophical principle behind that? Position yourself as forgiven and accepted. Realize that you are unable to get this done on your own. That's what that first line is all about. And that's a CBT principle of forgiving and accepting yourself. But what's the biblical basis? If you're a biblical person, or if you're not, this is 3,000-year-old philosophy. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't rely on your own understandings, or you're not going to get this done all by yourself. So once you've looked at that, thought about that, you go down here and say, how does this affect me? Share some thoughts or questions after listening. And this one, I've already entered something in, but I have an option. I don't think I have my option here today to reset that answer. Yeah, I do. See down here, I can reset that answer. And I'm going to do that right now. And I'm going to enter the same thing, but I want you to see that you can do that. Helps to release to forgiveness. Helps me understand I can start with a new life forward. Now, if you're on the phone, you get a little keyboard with a microphone, and you can just speak that into there. All right? You complete that step, and you got to 20 points. Now, it said your grade is pending review. You see that down here? Your grade is pending review. What that means is I'm going to look at that and maybe give you some feedback or just assign the points to it. But you get the points after a mentor, a moderator, looks at it. And there's another option down here at the bottom on these steps that said, what would you like to discuss about this step? Now, you don't need to put anything there, but you can. You can create a discussion, and other people who are taking it with you will see that discussion, and they can enter into it, and you can banter back and forth. Cool, right? Start feedback. There's another option you have here I want you to know about. Start feedback. We're going to click that, and what happens here? It opens up a little bit of a discussion over here, and you go, Phil, I'm a little confused. Can you help me understand more about this position of forgiveness? Now, that is not going to go to the discussion. When you post that, that's going to go to me or a mentor that's assigned to you, and that's the only one who's going to see it. All right? So you can directly communicate with me without just sticking something out there in an open discussion. And you do that through using this start feedback right here. And when you're done with this one little step, you say next, kabing, kabang, and it's going to take you into the next step. And you just keep going through it. Now, what happens? You're going, man, I'm done for the day, and I've done enough. So you just click that little back button, and there it is waiting on you. And when you resume it the next time, it's going to take you right back where you were. How cool is that? You don't have to worry about where you are and what's the next place. It's going to take you back. So there's a couple of other things I want you to grasp while you're here. There's this performance button. When you click on performance, it's kind of like a little dashboard. It's going to show you everything you've done in this course, how many points you've gotten for it, and if the circle with the check mark is in there, that's 100% complete. See that? If you go down here to this one, it means it needs review. It's got the little dash around it. You've done it. You're cool. You don't need to do anything else, but I need to review it, or a mentor needs to review it. Now you can see that I'm almost have done this 100% at this point. There's just a couple of things on mine that need review, and I need to fix this little thing. Now, I'm in here. I can click on that and say, what did I not do? Wait a minute. It says I'm pending review. Well, I'm not quite sure why, but I'm going to go to this one, and it's a little match share. I might be supremely happy with him in the next. I actually can't do that. It's kind of a messed up piece right now, and I'm going to have to fix that for myself. All right? And I can do that. And you can do that on your own. You find something like that, you could just enter the little feedback or discussion. You have a place all through the course. You see this little notes deal here? You can add a note and decide who else can see it. All right, so you go in here and say, I just want to add a note. I want to put something in here about me and what I'm thinking. So I'm going to add that note. What's my note title? My note title is forgiveness. This is new to me. I'd like to understand it more. So that note is your note, and it goes into your work and your course, and nobody else sees that. Right? This is a private note. Only you can see it. Save the note. Now, as a mentor and a teacher, I can add notes that other people can see. But as a student, you're just going to add the notes that you can see. Cool. All right. Other things that I want you to see while you're in here, up here's this little bell. First is your profile. Let's talk about your profile and your profile settings. First name, Phil/Pal. Pal's my nickname. And what about you? Something you want to put down here. I love to learn. This is exciting to me. Cool. You can upload a photo of how you want other people to see you. And then other people who are in the course, when they're in the community, when they're in discussions, they're going to see that. And I don't want to change that, but you can go into your computer and pick some sort of a picture down here. Man, I got all kinds of pictures in my world. Let's put this one. I don't know. That sounds like fun. That's a different thumbnail. It's got my little book that I just wrote recently. We'll add that in there. Here it is, loading it up. I want to make sure it does me right. It's not exactly a great picture of me, but, you know, it's a picture that's out there. And I want you to put a picture of you. And you can update that anytime. You can go back in there and update it and put that picture in. And I like you to do that. Here it is. Works for me. I'm going to save that. I saved the name change. I saved the picture change. I'm going to close it down. And the other thing you can do right here is this little bell. When you click this little bell, there's 3 dots up here. Now this is going to say everything you and the mentor have done. It says I reviewed it. Right? So when I click on that review, maybe as a mentor, I left some words of encouragement or I left some feedback on there. And when you click it, you're going to see that. Again, I'm not on my fastest internet, and the reason I did that is so that you see how things happen when you're not on your fastest internet. All right? Well, that was kind of a deal. Not much to see there. Reviewed. What went well, why, safeties. What are the 4 safeties, right? You can go through these, by the way, all the time and say, these notifications, I mark them all as red. Just get that off of there. You also have the ability to go down here and do what I call digest settings, and this is why we're here. Send notification, digest email, never daily or weekly. In other words, if I reply to something as a mentor or a mentor replies to something, you can get this via email. If it's going to be defaulted to never, so you want to set it to daily or weekly so that you can see your feedback in real time. And I go back, and it's going to do that for me now. I'll see responses. Cool? I hope that helps you understand a lot of the different features that come with your course.